On the day of her engagement, the woman was shocked. Her wedding gold set had all been swapped for silver jewelry. When she saw the gold jewelry on her future mother-in-law and sister-in-law, she instantly understood what had happened and demanded they give her gold set back. But after being exposed, the future mother-in-law not only refused to return it, she even called the woman a gold digger, saying, "All you think about is wearing gold and silver and spending my son's money. This is all our family can offer. Marry him or don't." What they didn't know was that the woman had paid for that gold set herself. Give it all back. What hurt her even more was that her boyfriend actually sided with his mother. He even told her to give the gold set to them, saying she was rich and could just buy another one, because it wasn't easy for his mom to raise him. Hearing that, she finally realized there was no place for her in his heart. Since they started dating, she had paid for every date and every meal. She even paid for the engagement banquet herself. She never brought it up only to protect his pride. But now, she saw him clearly. A man living off her while siding with his own family. And from the very start of this engagement banquet, his mother and sister had been making things hard for her. First, they showed up an hour late on purpose to put her in her place. She asked them to prepare 10 local gifts for good luck, but his mother pulled out fruit taken from the hotel, plus a pile of towels, toothpaste, and toothbrushes. It humiliated her in front of the relatives, but for her boyfriend's sake, she swallowed it. Then, when her father asked about the 88,000 yuan bride price, the future mother-in-law suddenly changed her mind and said they weren't paying. "If you think 88,000 is too much, you could have told me earlier. A smaller amount would have been fine. Then what if I said we won't pay a single penny? Would your family still agree?" Her boyfriend also backed his mother's decision. "Honestly, 88,000 is a bit much. Why don't you just forget about it? It's not like your family needs that money anyway." The reason his family was so arrogant was that after 5 years of studying, he had finally passed his exam. Now he believed that a woman earning 40 to 50,000 yuan a month as an office worker was no longer good enough for his bright future. For 5 years, she worked and paid for his food, clothes, and living expenses, only to be met with this whole family pushing their luck. Even his relatives were ridiculous. They assumed the engagement banquet, the wedding house, and the car were all paid for by the groom's family, so they said she had no shame asking for a bride price. They even mocked her father, saying he was selling his daughter. To shut them up, she showed them her million-yuan dowry. A fully paid wedding home with renovations, 200,000 yuan worth of custom smart furniture, a fully paid car, and 300,000 yuan in cash. The future mother-in-law instantly changed her attitude. She said they could pay the 88,000 bride price, but it had to be in installments, like a mortgage, starting with 360 payments. Come on, there are so many marriage scams online these days. You have to be careful with women. She never expected this family to be that cheap. Fine. She didn't want the 88,000 bride price anymore, and she wasn't marrying him either. Seeing the deal slip away, his mother quickly explained that the family was poor and couldn't pay that much all at once, begging her not to make a big deal of it for her son's sake. But then the woman discovered her gold set had been swapped for silver, which led to the scene at the beginning. At that moment, she was completely done. Drop this line. Your luck is turning and everything ahead will go your way. Li Yinan, when are you going to fix that nasty temper of yours? I can put up with you and give in to you any time, but that doesn't mean my sister and my mom have to keep doing the same. His sister said that if the woman had such a bad temper, she needed to be taught a lesson. If she married into the family, she'd turn the whole house upside down. His mother even acted generous, saying she wouldn't argue with the woman and that they should hurry up with the engagement ceremony before they missed the lucky time. Just then, the hotel manager suddenly showed up and told them to leave, saying the hall had already been booked by someone else. The woman was stunned because she had paid the deposit 3 months ago. Yet the host and photographer were nowhere to be seen. She demanded an explanation from the manager right then and there. "You did book in advance, but later you canceled and got the money refunded, didn't you? Are you sure there isn't a mistake?" Manager Song couldn't be wrong. Where's the refunded money? Now his mother had been exposed in front of everyone, but instead of feeling embarrassed, she said an engagement could have been held at home with simple decorations. Why waste money on a big hotel banquet and spend her son's money? The man didn't dare talk back to his mother, so he could only ask his girlfriend to put up with it a little longer. Then he shamelessly said, "Why don't we just find any random restaurant and have a meal?" The woman looked him straight in the eyes and told him to say that again. When his mother saw the woman scolding her son, she immediately lost it, saying her son was so outstanding and had such a bright future that he could find plenty of good women out there. At this point, the woman didn't even want to argue with them anymore. Thankfully, she hadn't jumped into this nightmare of a family yet. Her father, standing beside her, also snapped and called them bullies. They say a groom's family should come humbly, while a bride's family should hold their head high. If people didn't know better, they'd think your family was marrying into ours. At this point, the woman knew her relationship with him had come to an end. "Stop right there. I'm done putting up with you."